Hello and welcome to this special side episode for the LEGO Retrospective series. Now, I realise that the final episode that I've got to do is going to be LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and usually in each review video I like to go through the story of the game as well. Now, because it's the Skywalker Saga, now that's quite a lot of story to tell, so I thought what I'd do is do 3 story episodes, just going over the story, the prequels, the original trilogy and the sequels, just telling you the entire Skywalker Saga according to me. Now, before I get started, let me just clarify, I am a huge Star Wars fan, and this is just a bit of parody. I'm familiar with the detailed intricacies of Star Wars and do know the real name for things. This is just meant to be a little bit silly. It's LEGO related after all. So, for that one guy who's been living off the grid with nature since the spring of 1977 and was introduced to the internet this morning, here's what Star Wars is, told through the medium of LEGO cutscenes and poor British humour. Part 1, the prequels. Now, quick mention that before we get started and before we delve in too deep, the story heavily references 2 different types of space wizards. For reference, Jedi, good space wizards, Sith, bad space wizards. Also, this all takes place in a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago for some reason. Right, let's get on with it. With the galaxy on the brink of war, 2 Jedi, a master and his apprentice, are sent to the planet Naboo to negotiate the end of a trade blockage. It doesn't go well, and they end up adopting a frog person with a Caribbean accent, fleeing the planet, breaking their ship, and landing on a desert planet where they meet the boy named Anakin. After a casual chat with his mum and a quick scan, they believe him to be the Chosen One. Now that's less Harry Potter, more Jesus in terms of Chosen One. And they believe that he is there to fulfill a prophecy and balance the Force, the mystical energy that binds all living things in the universe. Problem is, they have no usable currency to get the spare part they need to fix their ship, and so they encourage the young boy to compete in the only major entertainment on the planet, a high-speed death race, known as pod racing, whilst doing a spot of gambling on the side to win both the part and his freedom. Epic race done, couple of fellow racers meeting their maker, and he wins! Yay! Following a brief battle with an unknown menace, possibly of phantom origin, the now slightly larger group made it safely off the desert planet, never to return again. No, wait, this is Tatooine. This is literally like the centre of everything that is Star Wars. Ignore that. Reaching the galactic capital, and with Queen Padme of Naboo doing politics, the 2 Jedi present their Messiah to the Jedi Council for permission to begin his Jedi training. Lots of Jedi. Permission denied. The end. Or that's how it could have gone. But Anakin is a little bit more important to the story, so we had to keep him in. Now, with the Queen failing at politics, Anakin failing at impressing the Jedi, they all head back to Naboo to solve the problem themselves. Joining forces with the frog people under the sea. Yeah, anyway. They launch a full-on assault on the soulless Rogers of the Trade Federation. Ignoring his elders, Anakin steals a ship and saves the day by blowing up a baddie mothership, the remote control for the entire droid army. A poor design choice if ever there was one. This same plot device was actually used to equal convenience in the first Avengers movie. Whilst all that's going on, our hero Jedi are battling their Phantom Menace, a devil-looking guy by the name of Darth Maul. It doesn't go to plan, and despite his very specific set of skills, Liam Neeson is murdered. With his master sadly murdered, the younger of the Jedi duo, by the name of Obi-Wan Kenobi, takes on the responsibility of training Anakin to become a Jedi. Fast forward a few years and Anakin is now in his late teens, and he's assigned to protect a now Senator Padme, meanwhile secretly falling more and more in love with her. Apparently the all-seeing Yoda completely missed that one. In the wake of an assassination attempt on the former Queen, Obi-Wan heads off on an investigation across the galaxy which leads him to uncover an off-the-books cloning operation a rogue Jedi set up to prepare for a coming war. Meeting the Cloners, an impressively long-necked alien race obsessed with customer service, he finds a ready-made clone army suspiciously based on the genome of a bounty hunter by the name of Jango Fett. Yet, for some unknown reason, having known this, they still keep the clone army for the war that's coming up. Maybe Jeff in the Republic's PR department came up with the name Clone Wars in advance and they had no choice. Nobody knows. Either way, that really wasn't the wisest move. But that's for later. Now, a game of cat and mouse afoot, Obi-Wan follows Jango to the planet Geonosis, where, despite being a highly trained Jedi, he is immediately captured. Anakin and Padme, having relayed Obi-Wan's last message to the Jedi, head out to rescue him, and are also immediately captured. Around the same time, we learn that one of the big bads pulling the strings is a former Jedi Master named Count Dooku. An epic battle ensues in a coliseum watched by the local bug people. Jango loses his head and his son vows vengeance on the Jedi, taking over the family business. Our heroes are saved and head off in hot pursuit of Dooku. Meanwhile, a big war is kicking off across the galaxy between a huge dispensable droid army and a huge dispensable clone army. Now, many CGI artists died of exhaustion during this time. The final battle with Dooku doesn't go well either. Anakin loses a hand and Dooku escapes. Anyway, back to the love story. An epic ballad of poor acting and worse dialogue ensues, with Anakin and Padme finally marrying in secret. Now that's a big no-no for the Jedi, who have rules about staying single and miserable for some reason. Skip forward a couple more years, and with all of the awesomeness of the Clone Wars bypassed in the movies, big developments reveal what we already knew. Senator Palpatine is actually a Sith Lord. Shock! And the biggest of bads in the galaxy. And now 20-something Anakin, a seasoned Jedi Knight, that's Knight, not Master, has been growing more and more frustrated with how the Jedi run the place, and finding out that the now pregnant Padme is destined to die. So he begins to build a strong relationship, one the Sith Lord is eager to exploit. Following a staged kidnap attempt of the Senator, Dooku is brutally taken down by Anakin, the dark side now slowly coming to the surface of the once considered Messiah. Anakin's erratic behaviour also begins to draw a wedge between him and his master as Obi-Wan leaves him behind to pursue Dooku's closest general, Grievous, a four-armed droid trained in the Jedi arts. Who needs the Force when you can wield 4 lightsabers at once? Grievous, it seems. Now, despite an epic battle that sees Kenobi the victor, things are about to take a drastic turn for the worse. As the Clone Wars reach their ultimate conclusion, Palpatine unleashes his endgame, Order 66. Now, just as an FYI, if you are interested, there are quite a few detailed Reddit forums out there discussing the Orders 1 to 65, but we'll just focus on the Order 66 for now, the eradication of the Jedi Order at the hands of their clone armies. Yes, let's just rewind for a sec. Now, clone armies based on the genome of a bounty hunting traitor? Not the greatest idea, was it? Anyway, with Anakin thoroughly manipulated by Palpatine at this point and desperate to save Padme's life, he turns to the dark side in a moment of madness that sees Samuel L. Jackson thrown out a window. Taking on the name Darth Vader, he does a few naughty things in the Jedi Temple that we won't go into too much detail about, before an epic lava-filled battle against his old master, Obi-Wan. Despite being visually stunning, it doesn't end well for Anakin, as having a slight height advantage during a battle leads to his former master cutting him into little pieces and leaving him to burn in a lava lake. That's pretty savage. Meanwhile, Padme still dies. Possibly from a broken heart, possibly just because the droid that was helping her give birth just wasn't that great at their job. Anyway, she gives birth to twins, Luke and Leia. One is sent to live as royalty, the other is sent to live as a farmer. Seriously, Luke seriously drew the short straw on this one. Meanwhile, Palpatine recovers what's left of Anakin's body, and the cyborg that we all know and love as Darth Vader is born into his true form. Dum dum dum! So there you go, people. I hope I haven't offended any Star Wars fans out there. This is just a bit of fun, But there you go. That is the prequel trilogy told using Lego and me. Hopefully you like this video. If you do, please do subscribe, comment, as long as it's not abusive, and share and like and all the great things. And I'll be back with part 2 very, very, very soon. Also keep an eye out because the actual review is coming as well.